has taken over.
Let's go.
It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible. Hanging out. The bad, say the bad, the bad, apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, direct from traffic, some kind of fashion ticket up should do that. Yeah. Ooh, woo, woo. Along with the Tutty and Tater King himself, the founder of the Aisle Seat podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, and the Open. The first round almost in the books for him. Carver. Hi this afternoon, ladies. Mafia is running it along with Luke. I'm your father. The rundown on a thirsty Thursday. A double shot with Morency from British Columbia. And of course, we've got Bob Nightingale in the second hour and the third hour. Drano. Our boy Andrew Lano, the former PGA caddy, on the bag for us, talking about the Open from Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. I have to tell you, I think today's been easy, Mike. I mean, you're sitting there with English Leather Cologne at 5 under on the 14th hole. There is a massive star-studded leaderboard right underneath them. But everybody's rolling it low today. I expect that'll change with the weather and the wind Friday, Saturday, Sunday. At least I'm hoping. I don't want to see 20 under par at the Open.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get to that point with 20 under par. It's been a weird day out there. Like the bad weather and the bad wind and rain, it's kind of come in pockets. You know, so if you've been out there long enough to kind of avoid some of it, and speaking of being out there long enough, I mean, it's taken 6 hours for some of these guys to play a round of golf, which is actually ridiculous, to be quite honest with you. But 5 under finally, well, it's just kind of the way the R&A does it. So we kind of mentioned this yesterday. No split tees. Everyone goes out from the first tee in a continuous order. I think when you have some, because like I said, there's been some tough conditions, and when you have guys in the fescue, you have guys, not making birdies and pars, it's going to back up, and it's backed up quite a bit. I mean, Rory's got like 4 or 5 holes left. I mean, he's 5 hours in. Guy teed off at like 10 o'clock East AM this morning, so some very, very long rounds being played out there. But Harry English,
he just
-5. And he's dropping back up. So we had a real big log jam at 4 under for the last several hours. It was only in the last hole or two that English got to 5 under and ahead of that pack. But he will now fall back here on the 14th hole to 4 under par, along with Matthew Fitzpatrick, Hao Tong Lee, your boy, the legend, Jacob Skov Olesen from Denmark, Christian Bezuidenhout from South Africa. All those guys, 5-way tie at the top at 4 under right now for the Open Championship. And, of course, who's lurking, though, Scotty?
Oh, God.
That would be one Scotty Scheffler at 3 under as he is already in the clubhouse. Kewa Kanjara, this kid from Thailand, he shot 3 under today. Tyrrell Hatton is still out there at 3 under. How about Lee Westwood, who now look, there's 3 rounds to go. But I had Lee Westwood on the card yesterday, Scotty. 11-1 for a top 20. Can he hang around all weekend here after the start today, Lee? I certainly hope so. Ricky Fowler with a 2 under as well today. Brian Harmon always hangs around at the Open. Justin Rose is at 2 under. Joaquin Niemann 2 under. So this is a typical Open, Scotty, that we love. We have a nice mix of some big names that are hanging around the top of the board. And then you have a mix of guys that you've probably, even guys who watch golf all the time haven't heard of a lot of these guys because the Open Championship infuses so many players from tours all around the world that you get a nice mix of everyone.
Rahm, Lowry, Garcia, and Hidalgo, Finau, Justin Leonard, Phil Mickelson, lefty, all in a group at 1 under. Rory now even with Don Henley, McIntyre, Schauffele. I mean, your boy Novocaine. I mean, it is just unbelievable, this leaderboard. Justin Thomas +1. It's crazy. I'm just glad it's underway and rolling in Ireland. It's awesome.
Yeah, and Rory actually was 3 under going to the 11th tee box, and he's bogeyed 3 of his last 4 holes.
Fail.
So Rory's had a rough little go here, which has put him back to even par. So we're getting down to it. Really, the last group out, I would say, and where are they at right now? The very last group is on the 12th hole. So we still have a few holes to go here before they're closed for the day out at Royal Portrush for the Open Championship. So we will be watching that. We also have for you, Scotty, we'll do some Summer League today, including a couple games that will tip this afternoon. In fact, 4 o'clock East, top of the next hour, the Pistons and the Heat will go. That's at the Cox Pavilion, where you get -5.5 for Detroit. And the Pacers and the Knicks will play 4:30 East at the Thomas and Hack. Knicks -2.5 in that game.
The Knicks, they finally solved the Pacers. So are they, the material? The Knicks, who did they lose to in the Eastern Final? It was them, right? Like, who did they lose to?
Yes, that's correct. The Pacers.
God, they just always lose to the Pacers. They're going to lose to them again today.
It's very possible that could happen. It's very possible. And, of course, you have a lot of teams. We'll discuss this later. A bunch of teams have already finished up. I believe it's at 4-0, right, in their regular schedule with a chance to win the Summer League title. You got a bunch of teams going today that are 3-0 and a chance to join them. I believe only 4 teams, Scotty, make it into the semis, right? Yes, that's true. Only 4 teams. So if you have a lot of teams that went 4-0, I guess they probably do it by point differential, whatever, to pick the top 4 teams. They'll play the semis on Saturday, the finals on Sunday this weekend for the Summer League.
Yeah, so today you got Hawks 3-0 playing. Spurs and Hornets are both 3-0, and they're playing each other. And then the Clippers are 3-0, and they're playing the Nuggets. So you got several teams that are still trying to get to 4-0 to get into that group.
Right, the group of the 4-0 teams. So lots of Summer League that we have on the docket today as well. Baseball will start back up tomorrow. We'll do a lot of closing the book, getting ready for the second half here today. I got the standings for you, some division odds, and yes, I will give you the schedule for tomorrow when we come back with, of course, everybody playing 15 games in the majors on Friday out of the All-Star break, including the Businessman Special at Wrigley between the Red Sox and the Cubs, which will get everybody very excited. The Red Sox on a 10-game winning streak.
And Boston had to cool off in those 4 days off. But here they go on the north side of Chicago against a tough Cub team. And then that Milwaukee Dodgers series is going to be incredible because what if the Brewers won 8 in a row, something like that? I mean, they're on fire as well. The Dodgers finally got some wins last weekend over the Giants. They won that series in San Francisco, but they had been playing terrible baseball over the last couple of weeks. So this is going to be a huge series at Dodger Stadium.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
they're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
I mean, Houston beat the snot out of the Dodgers, 18-1. And this is what happens here. Oral Hershiser doing the game for the Dodgers brings up the cheating scandal, going, oh, they must know the science because they're hitting curveballs that they know it's coming. It's like, oh, boy, did you really want to go down that rabbit hole again here? I think this is one of those nights where they got destroyed. Yeah, hey, it happens in baseball here. But just found that an interesting comment by Oral Hershiser. Start bringing up the cheating scandal again.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
You have a head coach in Jim Harbaugh that's proven he will cheat to win. He will win at the biggest stage and doesn't give a damn who cares or finds out, and he'll just move on. That's what I love about a coach. That's the type of coach that I want. Win at all costs. Now, also, at all costs means, like, how are we building this team? Because I actually thought Harbaugh would come in and say, okay, let me just see what the players on the roster is. We'll weed them out after a year, but there's a lot of talent. He built that foundation last year and still made the playoffs.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Of an interesting couple of weeks in California. If you recall, just I think it was 2 weeks ago, language was inserted into a bill that would outlaw or ban sweepstakes casinos and sports betting, which of course we've seen lots of that happen this year. So California is an interesting market because, as you've said, there is no legal online casino. There is no legal online sports betting.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our TV and radio outlets. We get Morency for a double shot every day from Vancouver on C2C. So what are you more excited about? The Open Championship going on, the second half starting tomorrow, or college football starting in 7 weeks?
First things I'll say, I'm more excited about the CFL football game tonight because we got a game rocking this evening. Montreal Alouettes and the Toronto Argonauts on the CBS Sports Network, TSN. So that's pretty cool. But I got to be honest with you, Scott. Like, college football, you know what I mean? That's around the corner right now. Hell, NFL football is around the corner right now. But college football kicks off August 23rd. I'm interested in the Nick Saban talk. Now, I don't think Nick Saban's coming back, obviously. He's not coaching this year, Scott, but I don't know how you feel about this, but I think that he will be back. I don't think, he never really had the retirement tour. He never really, it wasn't like it was building up and I got to go. They lost to Michigan in the Rose Bowl game that I was at. And he met with the team 2 days after, and he was heartbroken and distraught about losing the game. And he wrote a speech. He prepared a speech to talk to the kids about facing adversity and stuff. And he walked into the room, Scott, and the first thing players started saying to him, "Oh, coach, I got a big offer from Texas. I got a big offer. I got a lot of money offer. Am I going to be starting next year?" And he basically, and he just pulled the plug sort of suddenly. I know he's having a good time on College Game Day right now. I think he does it for another year, Scott. He sort of soaks up the campuses. But I'm expecting Nick Saban to be back next year. That's my prediction. And then you think, all right, where's he going to go back to? You got to wonder in Baton Rouge, Scott, if Brian Kelly continues not to get it done despite having top recruiting classes. And considering the weapons that he's had, and he hasn't won, I really don't see how anything's going to change for Brian Kelly, at LSU.
You think he'll go back there?
Well, I don't think he wants to stick it to Alabama. So, you know what I mean? That's the one place that I can sort of see, and I can see them going all in. But I'm sure you've seen this, Scott, and This started in the offseason, and not even with college football, guys, but Texas Tech, all right? Texas Tech paid like that softball pitcher like $1 million to leave Stanford. And I'm thinking, damn, man, if they have that type of money to pay, women's softball pitchers, what are they going to have for the college football team? Well, it turns out, guys, Texas Tech's payroll this year for their team, $28 million, Scott. $28 million. Ohio State was only 20 last year. All right? Like, Texas Tech are spending that type of money right now, and they're not going to win, so God bless the boosters. So you're not going to win. You're going to spend $30 million on players. You're going to fall short, and then you're going to blame the coach because you're going to say, wow, look at all the money that we have. And if you have enough money to pay softball pitchers and you got enough money to pay $28 million to the college football team, you'll have enough money to give Nick Saban $20 million to come coach the team for a couple of years. It's not a conflict with Alabama or LSU or anything like that. It's kind of isolated. Texas Tech, that's my bold hot take, Scott, as far as college football right now.
What do you think? Like, so I've already heard these rumors, and there's teams that they're linking him to. One of them is Auburn, and how about Miami? Oh God!
And you want to stick it to Bama, Scott? Come on, Saban coaching Auburn? I don't think he does that.
USC, Ohio State, and West Virginia.
See, you know what? West Virginia would make sense. He's a West Virginia guy. He loves that program. But West Virginia literally and figuratively just hired Rich Rod back, right? Rich Rodriguez is back. And I think that Saban, I don't think Belichick basically just wanted a job, guys. Like, he went through the NFL cycle. He didn't get hired. A lot of people didn't want to touch him. I swear, like, if Akron would have offered Belichick the job, he probably would have taken it, Scott. You know what I mean? Hey, Bowling Green, yeah, sure, I'll come with my girlfriend. All right, hey, yeah, I'm in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Belichick just wanted a coaching job. And it was like, yeah, I'm not going to win a national championship in North Carolina. Belichick knows that. But, I'll have a good time. Maybe I can win a bowl game. Maybe we can make the playoffs or something. Like, but if you're Saban, Scott, I don't see Saban coming back for the sake of it. I think if Saban comes back, he wants to come back to win a national championship. Another one, Scott, that would make sense would be the Florida Gators. Right, Billy Napier has, but one thing with Napier.
What about Florida State?
Well, Florida State's they're just a train wreck, man, with Norvell right now. But the Florida Gators, guys, they went 4-1 down the stretch. Lagway 6-1 as a starter. He is a legit game changer. But the problem with the Gators is their schedule is just an absolute killer. It's like Alligator Alley, like basically. Like, it's very hard to survive that. But Napier's on the hot seat there a little bit. I just got distracted by the girl on Sweden, Scott. I got to tell you, the team captain of Sweden rocks. I'm a big fan of hers.
Not bad. So you think so? It is amazing that they had SEC week and all they could talk about was Nick Saban and he's not coaching anymore. But they're talking about him as if he's coming to coach next week.
Well, it was Greg McElroy who started this. And one thing, I don't know if you've spoken to Greg before. I'm a fan of his. He had the highest, one thing with him, he had the highest test score ever in a National Football League with their Wonderlic.
Yeah.
Goes to show that it means nothing. Like, was he a good quarterback in the NFL? No. Right? Like, but no. Greg, just for the record, throw it out there, Greg McElroy is he's like borderline genius IQ type dude. He really is. Like, so he was the one. He's a smart dude, played for Saban. Won the first championship at Alabama for Saban. Not a hot take guy, Scott, like Greg McElroy. He's not like, oh, yeah, I got hot takes every day. And, he was the one. He said, I hear it from very, very, significant sources that Saban's in the market, that he's coming back. I buy it. He's going to get bored on College Game Day. It's fun for a year or two. He's competitive, Scott, and you know it, I know it, bro. 73 is the new 53. He's not too old. He can do this.
73 is the new 53. Shut up.
Come on, man.
I hear it. I honestly, so if I'm him and I got that cushy job on Saturdays going to College Game Day, I'm staying there.
you think that there's a possibility that we could be looking at DeBoer wondering if he's the long-term answer at coach for the Tide?
I'm starting to feel like Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, Craig, is a sleeper. Fourth easiest schedule in the SEC this year. Ryan Williams is back. I think the friendly, these early season games against Florida State and Wisconsin, that is friendly for Alabama.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Sick and tired of seeing tennis players fall to the ground in disbelief, like they captured the Rubik's Cube here. It's take it easy. You won 6-love, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, it's not like it's dramatic. I did that today, but I'm saying I see that guys do that all the time, and women do that. It's relax. You won in straight sets. It was a foregone conclusion an hour ago. Stop pretending like it was a dramatic victory.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those three things about LeBron James.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody also is going to know the name Yuri Perez next year because Yuri Perez, obviously in fantasy circles, is a guy that we've been excited about for a while. Burst onto the scene a couple years ago, was electric, was fantastic. Then Tommy John, and we've been waiting for him ever since. And, all of a sudden the last couple starts starting to look like the Yuri Perez that I know I was very excited about drafting going into this season. And he has been brilliant.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
So, I just can't stop talking about this. 74 years old on Halloween, and you think honestly, that he's gonna go? He's actually so everyone has been talking about this.
Look, okay,
he's gonna dive right back in at 75 and do it again because it's a year from now. He's not doing it this year.
No, he would line it up this year, and I know it sounds, when you say it that way, but Bill Belichick's girlfriend's 23, 24, right? If that, whatever they say she is. He's dating a girl. He can relate to these players enough. I'll put it this way: would you rather? I think Saban is more relatable than Belichick is. Right? Saban is still a funny dude. Saban's funny, and Belichick's got a sense of humor, but Saban can relate to the kids. Saban can reach these kids still, and.
He's not funny at camp. He's not funny coaching. He's funny on TV.
No, but he's not. No, Belichick's worse, though. Put it this way. People talk about playing for Saban. Yeah, he pushes you hard, but if he was a drill sergeant, Scott, people wouldn't play for him, right? He keeps it fun. Just a quick story about that. Saban, there was a bunch of media at a practice once, and they were surprised. There was really loud music. Rap music was cranking during the practice. The players were running the practice, and the coaches were kind of on golf carts just sort of chilling. And they said to Coach, wow, we didn't imagine your practice would be this sort of modern, Coach. And he said, man, we play 12 regular season games. He goes, about 5 of them are killers. He goes, then you got the bowl games, playoffs. He goes, I can't run these kids into the ground every week. Right? He goes, I pick my spots. He goes, you know what I mean? He goes, we know when to dial it up. So, there's a certain way. Same with Harbaugh. Harbaugh has fun. He's stern. Sharon Moore, same thing. I saw the Michigan kids that were saying, yeah, Moore's really cool until he's not. You know what I mean? He can turn. Lloyd Carr was like that, Scott. I had a buddy that got recruited by Kentucky and Michigan, big lineman. And he went to the Michigan football camp, and Lloyd Carr told him, man, we want you to be here. He went out with a bunch of hot girls that night, and you know what I mean? They rolled out the red carpet for him. And players on the team told him, don't fall for it. It's a trick. The second you sign your name, he becomes the biggest a-hole in the world. And my buddy believed it, and my buddy didn't like discipline. So you know where he went, Scott? He went to Kentucky. Hal Mummy was the coach. He goes, I got recruited at Kentucky. He goes, they got me wasted and hooked me up with a bunch of cheerleaders. He goes, it was just party central. Like Tim Couch was the coach. And so he protected Tim Couch. Tim Couch ended up being the number one pick in the draft. He was on that Kentucky team, partied his ass up, but that's why he ended up in the CFL, Scott, instead of the NFL, like the discipline. It's like, bro, you were like 6'7", 350 pounds. Like you could have, you could have been a Michigan Wolverine and a New York Giant or something. Instead, you were a Kentucky Wildcat and an Ottawa Red Black player. But look at Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's back right now, Scott. Pete Carroll, he's like 74, 75. Dude, like you're up every morning. Pete Carroll's running marathons every morning, this guy still. Come on. Is he too old? I don't think so.
Listen, I'm not playing basketball at 5 in the morning. I'm 60 here in a couple of weeks. There's a big difference between, in my opinion, being 60 and being 74 years old.
Yeah. You know, if you look
14 years.
If you look at the best coaches for the most part, all right, like how old is Andy Reid?
Well,
Andy Reid's not young. Andy Reid's not young.
I'll give
Nick
you that.
Sirianni
He's been out there doing it. And now, do you think Carroll's going to do well in Vegas?
As well as he can do, right?
Easy
ultra
money
tough
is what he got. He got easy money to
They're in a
coach
tough
Raiders
division.
for 2 years before they fire his ass again.
I hate to say this because, as far as I like to see the Raiders do well, but they're probably the worst team in the division still, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
KC are still KC. The Chargers are getting better with Harbaugh. And the Broncos, I didn't think Sean Payton was going to do as good of a job as he done, Scott, but let's give him credit. He turned it around, and they look like they could be really good again.
Yeah, but he's also not 74 years old. So
How old's Peyton? That's a good question. Like, Peyton's not young. How old is Sean Payton? He's got, what, like 62 type thing?
Yeah, I think he's probably 64.
Let's see, Sean Payton, 61 right now. He'll be 62 midseason.
So he's 2 years older than me, basically.
Harbaugh's in that 63 range, too, in that same sort of ballpark.
Right? John or Jim?
Jim.
Do you think that there's a possibility that we could be looking at DeBoer wondering if he's the long-term answer at coach for the Tide?
I'm starting to feel like Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, Craig, is a sleeper. Fourth easiest schedule in the SEC this year. Ryan Williams is back. I think the friendly, these early season games against Florida State and Wisconsin, that is friendly for Alabama.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Sick and tired of seeing tennis players fall to the ground in disbelief, they captured the Rubik's Cube here. It's take it easy. You won 6 love, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, it's not like you're dramatic. I did today, but I'm saying, I see that guys do that all the time, and women do that. It's like, relax. You won in straight sets. It was a foregone conclusion an hour ago. Stop pretending like it was a dramatic victory.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those three things about LeBron James.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody also is going to know the name Yuri Perez next year because Yuri Perez, obviously in fantasy circles, is a guy that we've been excited about for a while. Burst onto the scene a couple years ago, was electric, was fantastic. Then Tommy John, and we've been waiting for him ever since. And, all of a sudden the last couple stars starting to look like the Yuri Perez that I know I was very excited about drafting going into this season. And he has been brilliant.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Carver High, how do you feel about old coaches in sports? We just rattled off a bunch of them. Patino, Calipari, Pearl, Kelvin Sampson. It goes on and on. In the NHL, there's all kinds of old coaches. In baseball, there's all kinds of old coaches. In football, there's all kinds of old coaches. So I guess the rumor must be true that he's going to come back and coach, Saban. I find it strange that they started it up, 7 weeks before college starts in earnest, and pros is in 8 weeks, and they're talking about Nick Saban coming back to coaching, and they're putting it on the back burner until next September. Next year they're gonna do it, but they're gonna announce it now. They're gonna start the rumor now so we can get ready for him next year, a year from now. Are you buying that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it would really be like December, right? That's when he would get another job. Because everybody gets fired at the end of November when the season ends, and there's a mad scramble to hire everybody. So it's really just that long, and then you would have 8 months of buildup of him coaching somewhere else. I don't know. I could see it because none of these guys ever truly quit. And, I think Kiffin said this, and these other guys have said it. He does still seem like he's sharp enough to do it. I mean, he sees that his buddy Belichick's doing it at the same age and doing it goes and takes over North Carolina. It wouldn't stun me if Saban coached again. One more round. But I think the thing about this is I think he despises the college setup now. I think he can't stand it. I think he wants nothing to do with how these kids are wired now in terms of money before team, money before accolades. It is something that he failed at, right? He failed at Miami. I feel like the NFL is gearing more towards the younger side. Now, some of the most successful guys are older, but all the hires now are all younger. Man, who would... I don't know if anyone would hire him in the NFL. I mean, I'm sure somebody would. That's tough. I think if he comes back, it's college.
His intimidation isn't going to work with pros. And if he
not
doesn't
the
like
NFL way.
NIL, if he doesn't like the way it's set up with the transfer portal and NIL money and budgets and having to play the money game, then why do it at 75? He'll be 75 next Halloween.
He is now sitting in a chair that no one is ever going to take him out of. As long as he just wants to keep doing it, there's never going to be anybody calling for his job or saying who's his replacement or that. He didn't do that job for a long time because he's still super sharp. I mean, look, they're just finally getting Corso out of there. They'll let Nick go for a long time on that College game day chair. If I was him, I'd probably just love life and just do that and just cash those checks.
He's got the Gucci job where you just make a ton of money and you show up one day a week. And then I guess they use him here and there to do other stuff. But for the most part, he works Saturday, mornings. When is that show on? It starts at 9 a.m., doesn't it? Till
right,
kickoff.
and I'm sure that I'm sure that they would tell you, well, it's like a 2 or 3 day endeavor. You got to get there for, meetings the day before and all this prep. All right, there's still 4 other days of the week where you're doing nothing. Okay, aside from actually just going and doing the show.
I don't believe that that guy has to go to a meeting.
I don't think he would have to go to
a meeting
either.
On Saturday, and he'll show up Friday on his private jet. Let's stop with all this. He's got to be like everybody else stuff.
And he's back on the private jet by 1:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, he
heading home
stick around
on
for
Saturday.
The game.
You're not hanging around
on campus, and then he leaves.
No, yeah, he's not hanging around for any of that. Look, I think if it were me and you, we would be staying in that chair and cashing the checks. The pressureless, no pressure whatsoever, no living up to the legacy, no any of that. Just go and just collect. And I think that's
to accomplish coaching. That's the other thing. Like what he He's won so many titles and done everything.
There's
What's
nothing
the
in
point?
college.
What's the point?
There's nothing in college, especially in college. In the NFL, yes. I'm sure there's a part of him that would want to wash away
What do you
how
think his
bad
wife
it was
would
in
say?
Miami.
Like his wife,
No,
who
Miss Terry?
put up with it. Well, she put up with it for what, 30, 40 years, and then now she's got him home, in a normal life, and he goes away on Friday and Saturdays, and he's home by Saturday night. Does she want to deal with that again? Him coaching
Probably
again,
not.
every
Probably
week, and that's a year-round job. That's every day.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's there's no more off. For
he'll be 75 next Halloween. I don't see the point of it. Who's he?
There's no point.
Trying to impress. What's he trying to accomplish? So I actually think that Belichick. I actually think that he couldn't live without it, and he actually was good doing the TV stuff as well, but it didn't satisfy him. He has to coach. I don't sense that from Saban, that he has to do it. I think he knows that he's set for life, rich as all hell, doesn't have to prove anything. He's already won at every level except the NFL, right? And he's not going to go to the NFL and start a new operation. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know if I believe that he's going to start over. We saw him in Miami. It was a disaster. Why is that? Explain that to me. How could he be so great in college and so awful in the NFL? He's not going to do it to prove everyone wrong either. I don't think he cares what people think of his coaching performance. His college accolades speak for themselves. He doesn't have, what's he going to do? I want to win another national championship? For what? Honestly, I just don't see it. Like, I'm sure I'm wrong. He'll coach again. They'll name him by December. He'll have a big job at Florida State, and that'll be that. Can you imagine this guy coming back? I got to be honest. To come back and coach at West Virginia? Is that, like, let's just face it, that's like a toilet bowl job for him. That's like being the tidy bowl guy.
It sounds like
Alabama,
he was so
West Virginia.
He was so finished with what it's become that I don't think that he wants any. I don't think it would be college if he came back. I really don't. I don't think he needs to anymore.
So it's pro football then.
I think that would be the only for me. For me, that would be the only way. That's just me saying it, and I don't even think that would happen. I just, what does he have to accomplish? And he hates the way the system is set up now. I think this is all nonsense. Probably at the end of the day.
Here's what I want to happen. I want to see Pete Carroll come back at whatever he is. I can't keep track of his age.
He's in the low 70s.
Okay.
He's 72, 73, Pete.
Okay, fair enough. I want to see that fail so that we can stop with this ridiculous notion that teams should be hiring 75-year-olds to coach their football teams. I mean, I just don't believe in it. I think that the day, is meant for the young. Coaching is, if you look around the country, for the most part, I would say 80%, 90 even, are young coaches. They're not old men. I mean, Pete Carroll's an old man. Nick Saban's an old man. Bill Belichick is an old man. I don't care what anybody says. Listen, I have told you that everything, how many times have we done this? Anything over 70, it's over. Like, at what point do you finally go down to the mailbox and get the Social Security check? Like, at what point do you stop working in life? I won't be working at 70.
There's a possibility that we could be looking at DeBoer wondering if he's the long-term answer at coach for the Tide?
I'm starting to feel like Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, Craig, is a sleeper. Fourth easiest schedule in the SEC this year. Ryan Williams is back. I think the friendly, these early season games against Florida State and Wisconsin, that is friendly for Alabama.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Sick and tired of seeing tennis players like fall to the ground like in disbelief, like they captured the Rubik's Cube here. It's like, take it easy. You won 6-love, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, it's not like it's dramatic. I did today, but I'm saying, I see that guys do that all the time, and women do that. It's like, relax. You won in straight sets. It was a foregone conclusion an hour ago. Stop pretending like it was a dramatic victory.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those three things about LeBron James.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody also is going to know the name Yuri Perez next year because Yuri Perez, obviously in fantasy circles, is the guy that we've been excited about for a while. Burst onto the scene a couple years ago, was electric, was fantastic. Then Tommy John, and we've been waiting for him ever since. And, all of a sudden the last couple starts starting to look like the Yuri Perez that I know I was very excited about drafting going into this season. And he has been brilliant.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Wow, I just have to say, I saw DeChambeau at +7. His round just ended. What a disaster.
Yeah, this is usually not his bag, the Open Championship. This is not really something that fits his skill set, his style, etc. He's, I think the only time, he's got one decent finish. I think that was at St. Andrews, which, as you know, is a little bit more, I guess you could say, wide open than some of the other ones from that aspect. But he's got a tough time because, you got to remember, he sprays it everywhere, and you could kind of get away with that at the PGA and the U.S. Open, right? You could spray it a little bit everywhere. I remember last year at Pinehurst, he was hitting all those balls out of that little native area there on the side, and he was hitting great shots. That's a little tougher to do at the Open Championship because that stuff is, I mean, it's just trying to hit out of that fescue is just, it's madness trying to do it. So he's in bad shape, but nice job by, I believe it was Brady Cannon on our Coast to Coast preview show that one of his bets was Bryson to miss the cut at +350 was one of Brady's bets. So Bryson's well on his way to getting there, that's for sure. Shooting 7 over on the first day back. Just unlucky there indeed. And it looks like, unless Harry English can find a birdie here in the last couple of holes, that we might go in at the end of the day with this huge logjam at the top. I don't think anyone's going to get past 4 under out here today.
No,
in fact,
yeah. He's on 17 now, but right now it's 5 guys at 4 under.
5 guys at 4 under, indeed. All right. We've got a lot of baseball to do because baseball will restart tomorrow, Scotty. A full slate, 15 games. Thank God is right. So we pretty much made it through. We got a lot to do today, and we'll get to baseball back tomorrow, and away we go. I'll give you the look at the standings here as we've hit the break, and maybe even some odds for a couple of these divisions too. The Blue Jays have a 2-game lead in the AL East over the Yankees. Boston is now only 3 back. Tampa 5.5, and Baltimore a miserable 43-52 first half for them, puts them way down the list. But in terms of betting on it, Scotty, Toronto and the Yankees pretty close there. The Yankees actually still the favorite, even though they're trailing by 2 games right now. Toronto's +185, Boston 6-1.
Wow, I mean, I think the Blue Jays have a shot to win the East for sure, and I think that that's what's going to be fun to watch the rest of the way. I think Tampa's going to lose out when they go on this 24 and 30 days road trip. I don't see that benefiting them at all. The fact that it rains every day in South Florida every night, I mean, like it's Vietnam, it rains. It's like Thailand. I mean, it rains there like you have no idea, in buckets. You can't even see. I was just down there in Miami, and every single day I was there, it poured like I was in at the Open. You know what I mean? Like I was in Northern Ireland. I mean, it rains every day there. It just pours down rain, so they can't play at home. That's why they played all those early season games. And now they're going to go on this like laborious road trip. And this is not like going on a 6-game or a 9-game trip, a gigantic 9-game road game, chunk of your season. People have been able to succeed in that realm, but I think this thing where they're playing a month on the road is going to catch up to them. I'm going to wipe them out. I don't buy them even at 5.5. I think it's going to get worse. I'll be surprised. Like they already started playing poorly before the break, let alone coming out of the break and playing every game and living in a bag and bus and plane and hotel every night for a month. I mean, I think that's going to catch up to them, don't you?
Yes, I think it is, which is why, and look, I didn't think that they would play as well as they have over the first 3 months of the season, but this stretch that they're going to go on was like the main reason I played that under at 80.5. I played their under win total thinking that I didn't think they'd be good to begin with, but then they would hit that road stretch in the second half, and it would just be really poor for them. And I think that hopefully that's where it goes because they're at 50 wins. So I need him to go a pretty good pace under 500 here in the last couple months in order for me to cash that ticket. Hopefully we can get there.
They were 2-8 in their last 10 and lost 4 straight going into the break. And I think that slide is indicative of kind of where they're headed. I don't know if it'll be that bad. But I don't think it's going to be any better playing on the road for a month.
I hope it is. I hope they lose as many games as possible.
I do
whatever
too.
Gets
I
them
wish
under
them ill
80
will
and a half.
and doom and gloom.
The Central, Detroit has a double-digit lead. They're 21 games over 500. And for all of those reasons, Scotty, I don't have to give you odds for the division because guess what? They're going to win the Central. So I don't even need to waste our time letting you know who the favorite is for the AL Central because the Tigers are going to win. Now, the West is a whole nother story. Houston 56-40, Seattle 51-45, so 5 games back in the loss. Texas 48-49, 1 under. Angels are 2 under. Of course, Houston's the favorite to win this division right now, as you will see. They got a sizable advantage there in terms of the odds boards. Minus 420, sizable advantage. Seattle plus 380.
Yeah, I think the Astros are the better team. I think the Mariners played well going out. I thought their series against Detroit was huge. I think they have the pitching, and they have Cal Raleigh, etc., Rodriguez. They have all these guys that can play. I still think the Astros are going to take the division. So I think they're gonna win the West. I think, it's amazing to me what they've continued to do year after year after year after year after year after. It's just every year they're good, and I think they mean business. And then Seattle, typically, for my money, they always fade. At some point, they're
always
gonna break.
fade. Yeah, I'd like to see if they get themselves a bat at some point. That would be interesting if they could add a little bit more hitting to their lineup. I will give you the AL wildcard where really a lot of teams, if they can get hot, are still kind of in the mix on the American League side. And then I've got the NL side for you as well when we come back.
there's a possibility that we could be looking at DeBoer wondering if he's the long-term answer at coach for the Tide?
I'm starting to feel like Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, Craig, is a sleeper. Fourth easiest schedule in the SEC this year. Ryan Williams is back. I think the friendly, these early season games against Florida State and Wisconsin, that is friendly for Alabama.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Sick and tired of seeing tennis players like fall to the ground like in disbelief, like they captured the Rubik's Cube here. It's like, take it easy. You won 6-love, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, it's not like it's dramatic. I did that now, did today, but I'm saying, I see that guys do that all the time, and women do that. It's like, relax. You won in straight sets. It was a foregone conclusion an hour ago. Stop pretending like it was a dramatic victory.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those three things about LeBron James.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody also is going to know the name Yuri Perez next year because Yuri Perez, obviously in fantasy circles, is a guy that we've been excited about for a while. Burst onto the scene a couple years ago, was electric, was fantastic. Then Tommy John, and we've been waiting for him ever since. And, all of a sudden the last couple starts starting to look like the Yuri Perez that I know I was very excited about drafting going into this season. And he has been brilliant.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
So that wild card in the AL, I'll give you this. That to me is Seattle's in. Right now they're in that spot, but I'm not high on the Rays because of their schedule. It really makes a difference to me. I'll see if they can live up to where they are. They're 1.5 games out of a wild card. I think their chances in the East are, for me, slim to none. The interesting teams for me in that wild card is Texas 3.5 back because they got pitching. You know what I mean? Like DeGrom.
Yeah.
Eovaldi has been great. If you have two great pitchers, anything can happen. 3.5 games is nothing. And the other team in there, I know it's Twins Angels, but I'm going to skip that to the Royals because, they got hitters galore and pitching, right? Like, if their pitching ever came around in concert with their hitting, they'd be a tough customer, right? And weren't they winning going out? 7-3 in their last 10 games. I think they have a shot, an outside shot, if I'm looking at outsiders looking in.
Yeah, I agree. This is why any of these teams, now there's a few that I don't think could, but any of these teams from 3.5 to 4.5, all 5 of them, any one of them could easily rip off what, they could do like what the Red Sox have done over the last 2 weeks heading into. All it takes is a little string where you win 10 out of 13 or
right.
15 out of 19. You get one of those runs and suddenly, the Red Sox were where those teams were 2 weeks ago, right? The Red Sox were in that group down there, 4.5, 5.5 games out of a playoff spot. And it took one good stretch for them, and they're in a slot. So season's far from over for all these teams that are still within striking distance. Now, some of them might end up selling. Like, Cleveland might sell some pieces, and, the Angels never get it done anyway. But I think you're right, Texas and Kansas City are the two that maybe keep your eye on in terms of getting hot over the second half. NL East. For you. We head into the break with the Phillies holding a half-game lead over the Mets. They are 1 game ahead in the loss column, 41 losses, 42 losses. The Marlins played so well over the last month that they have gone from 5th to 3rd in the NL East. But unfortunately, only that and $250 will get you on the subway. It doesn't get you much more. And Atlanta's having a miserable year. Absolutely miserable.
Yeah, they're
so
done.
far.
And I think the Marlins are too far back as well. 10.5 out, 7.5 out of a wild card. Now, I guess that's not like completely shot at 7.5 back. But for my money, for the most part, it is. Because if you look at the National League wild card, the Giants are a half game back of the Padres, who have the last spot. And then it's the Cardinals. They're 1.5 out. Reds 2.5 out. Diamondbacks 5.5. Marlins 7.5. Now look, there's your wild card standings right now. Brewers, Mets, Padres get in. Look, I think the Phillies have better pitching than the Mets, right? I think that they got Manaea back. Isn't that right? Didn't they get the Mets just got him back? And look, the other one, who they have, Montas, he's been injured. Canning got injured. I think Peterson's done a nice job for him. But if you look at the reality of it is the Philadelphia Phillies, they have all the pitching. The Sanchez, Suarez, Wheeler, it goes on and on. So my edge is to them in the East, even though I think the Mets can dance with them till the end. I think the Mets are a playoff team. I think the Mets offense is loaded. I like that lineup for sure. I just think if anybody needs to do something at the deadline, it's the Mets with all their, I think deficiencies pitching.
Yeah, they're the team that's going to have to make some moves, no doubt about that. The Cubs have a 1-game lead over the Brewers, who, of course, have won 7 in a row going into the break.
Yeah,
and they are
like
1 game back now of the Cubs. And, the Cubs are still favored to win the division. But like you said, the Brewers plus 240.
Right
there. Right there for the Brew Crew. Been playing some very good ball.
I don't doubt the Cubs, but I've seen enough to believe in them. But I think the Brewers have better pitching, and they're certainly winning a lot, aren't they? So I think they're the dangerous team for my money in the Central.
I say, you crank that Soldier Boy, right? You Darvish back on the mound. Haven't seen this guy in a minute right now. Yeah, man, crank it, man. Get it going up. Get the high. Yeah, let's go. Crank that Soldier Boy up here. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. That was big back then. Where were you? Senior high school? Or maybe even in grade school?
Dude. Bar mitzvah slate. In the bar mitzvah slate each and every weekend. The young Benny Steve was out there hitting it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Do they practice in a public park? And Ferrall and Lodge said, no, they have a little facility, but it's open to the public. No, it's a public park. Like, it basically, there's like kids playing basketball. Like,
yeah.
No, it's bad. I looked, I'm like, dear God. Like, I thought, I'm like, man, I bet a lot of money on these guys. I can't believe this is where they practice. Like,
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Scrounge out a couple of quarters from under the couch to go trade for somebody who actually makes some money. I don't think that he would actually do that. That's not in Hal's style the last couple of years, especially in season. I saw they signed that Heimer Candelario, who the Reds released. That's more their style, going the discount aisle as opposed to trading for someone who's actually having a huge year like Suarez.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I would be looking to get him in dynasty or keeper leagues. If I'm out of a league and I'm looking to rebuild for the next years ahead, that's where I'm looking. Yuri Perez is a special young pitcher that we're going to be talking about in that Paul Skeens, in that Tariq Skubal, in that grouping of guys. I think he can be that good. He's only 22 years old. He's the boy. So you're getting a situation here where Yuri Perez eventually is going to grow into that man of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, Only on SportsGrid.